Let's turn an empty Pringles can into an insect hotel. The most important part of a bug hotel is the tubes or holes drilled into wood where hermit wasps and bees and decor wasps can lay an egg, gather some food for their offspring, mason the hole shut, and then once the egg hatches, the new wasp or bee can eat and dig their way out the next summer. An easy material for these tubes is the common reed, which we have a lot of. And where do you put them? This is where hoarding empty food containers comes in handy. If you want to make the hotel double-sided, remove the bottom part of the Pringles can with a can opener and smooth out the sharp edges or push them in. Cut the reeds preferably a little shorter than the can so that they can get some shelter. The reeds are hollow except for the joint parts, so make sure the joint is not near the opening of the Pringles can. If you opened up the bottom of the can, the joint should be in the middle so both ends of the reed can host visitors. And use the biggest reeds you can find. The smaller ones probably just serve as filler to make the bigger ones not fall out of the can. Only use dry reeds or let them dry before putting them inside the can or they will go moldy. The Pringles cans are kind of an eyesore, so you can cover them with something like birch bark and metal wire to make them blend in and look like part of the nature, like I did with my first bug hotel at the summer cottage. Or you can paint them like I'm doing here. I took out the reeds and primed the Pringles cans with acrylic gesso to make covering the print a little easier and to make the painting more durable and the paint stick to the can better. I tinted it with red acrylic paint. I think I added a little too much of the translucent red paint though, so the coverage won't be that good. I primed 4 cans at once, so by the time I was done with the first coat on the last one, the first can was already touch dry, so I could start over with the second coat. I put them outside to dry with a weight inside each can so they wouldn't topple over in the wind. I cleaned the paintbrush in water and dish soap and poured the paint water into my acrylic paint wastewater bucket to evaporate. I let the gesso dry overnight before starting to paint. I covered the can with acrylic paintings of wild flowers that the wasps and bees might be drawn to in real life. I don't think they can actually see the flowers in the painting though. I painted flowers I had just taken photos of at the summer cottage, so they're flowers that all bloom at the same time in June. There's heath dog violet, germander speedwell, stone bramble, wood cranespill, meadow buttercup, tormentil, red campion, one-flowered wintergreen, lily of the valley, and cow parsley, although that was just some white dots I added at the end. I'll have more of the photos up on Patreon later if you want some more references. I first painted the leaves of those plants and then started painting some violet, blue, white, yellow and red flowers on top of the leaves. Finally adding some greenery and peaks of blue sky in the empty parts, but letting the red background show through, making a kind of a messy, colorful painting. I don't know if they'll mind the smell of the paint, kinda like birds maybe prefer unpainted wooden birdhouses instead of painted colorful ones. But I guess I'll find out eventually, seeing if anyone moves in. I sealed the painting with acrylic varnish to make it more durable. You also need to add something like string or metal wire for hanging the hotel. I think the metal wire will wear off the paint eventually, but the white rope I have is too thick and visible, so I just put the wire around one end of the tube, left enough wire for hanging in the middle, and put it around the other end. The hotel should be hung somewhere horizontally, preferably a bit sheltered from the rain. It could be on a balcony if it's not completely closed off by balcony glazing, or on a porch or in a tree. Hermit wasps don't sting easily like community wasps since they have no community to defend, so that shouldn't be a problem. There should be water and plants nearby. It shouldn't get wet or covered by snow in the winter, but it should still be in outdoor temperature. What I've done at the summer cottage with the old bug hotel is put it in the garage for the winter and bring it back out in the spring. What should I paint on the other ones? More wildflowers, herbs, butterflies? But if you want to do another garden/summer art project, watch this video next. See you there. Thanks for watching.